What if I told you the truth has been hidden in plain sight? They've ruled from the shadows until now. This is the story they never wanted you to hear. Behind every major event lies a secret you were never meant to know. You've heard the rumors, now discover the truth. Centuries of silence broken in just a few minutes.
Origins and history.
The history of Freemasonry began long before it became secret. Its origins lie in the guilds of medieval stonemasons who built Europe's great cathedrals. These operative masons possessed unique knowledge and trade secrets, passing them down through generations. Around the 17th, 18th centuries, these guilds began admitting speculative members, individuals not directly involved in construction, but interested in philosophy, ethics, and self-improvement. This was a pivotal moment. In 1717, the Grand Lodge of England was founded in London, marking the birth of modern Freemasonry. Since then, it has spread worldwide, attracting prominent thinkers, politicians, and cultural figures.
What is Freemasonry really?
So, what is Freemasonry today? Contrary to popular myths, it is not a secret society, but rather a society with secrets. The core principles of Freemasonry are brotherhood, charity, and truth. Masons strive for self-improvement, developing moral qualities and intellectual abilities. They believe in the great architect of the universe. This can be any supreme being, which each Mason understands in their own way, making Freemasonry a non-denominational but spiritual brotherhood. Meetings are held in lodges where members discuss philosophical and ethical issues, plan charitable projects, and strengthen their fraternal bonds. The rituals, which may seem strange to the uninitiated, are actually symbolic lessons designed to convey Masonic values.
Symbols and their meaning. Freemasonry is rich in symbolism. The most famous symbol is the compass and square, with the letter G in the middle. The compass symbolizes temperance and control over passions, while the square represents morality and integrity in actions. The letter G can stand for God, geometry as the science underlying creation, or gnosis, knowledge. The all-seeing eye, often associated with Masons, is actually an ancient symbol of divine providence and is present in many cultures. These symbols serve to convey complex philosophical ideas in a simple, memorable way.
Myths and conspiracies.
Now, let's talk about the myths. Masons have been accused of everything from assassinating presidents to controlling world governments. The most popular myths include secret world government. There is no evidence that Masons control the world. Their organizations are decentralized, and grand lodges in different countries are independent of each other. Satanism or devil worship. Freemasonry requires a belief in a supreme being, but does not prescribe a specific religion. It is explicitly not associated with Satanism. Conspiracy on the dollar bill. The pyramid with the all-seeing eye on the US dollar is often attributed to Masons. However, this symbol was used long before Freemasonry and was chosen by the founding fathers of the USA as a symbol of providence and the building of a new nation. Many of the founding fathers were indeed Masons, but this does not mean the entire design of the bill is their conspiracy. Murder and sacrifices. These are pure fabrications based on fear and ignorance. Freemasonry preaches peace and charity. These myths often arise from the closed nature of Masonic rituals and a misunderstanding of their symbolism. However, anyone interested can find extensive information about Freemasonry in open sources.
Freemasonry today. Today, Freemasonry continues to exist and evolve. It still attracts people seeking spiritual and personal growth, as well as opportunities for charitable work. Masons actively participate in their communities, supporting hospitals, schools, and other social projects. In many countries, Masonic lodges openly declare their existence, have websites, and regularly host open days where anyone can learn more about the fraternity. And while some aspects of their rituals remain confidential, much like the private life of any organization or family, the general principles and goals of Freemasonry are entirely transparent.
Between myth and reality, unveiling misconceptions.
The Masons is one of the world's oldest and, arguably, most mystified fraternities. It consistently attracts attention, spawning countless myths and conspiracy theories. From sinister rituals to global domination, from devil worship to the concealment of ancient secrets, the list of accusations and conjectures is endless. But what among these is true, and what is merely the product of a vivid imagination? Let's separate fact from fiction and examine the most common myths and the actual truths about the Masons. Myth 1. The Masons are a secret society controlling the world. Reality. This is perhaps the most enduring and widespread myth. The Masons is not a secret society, but rather a society with secrets. The distinction is crucial. Masonic lodges are openly registered in most countries, have their own buildings, websites, and publish information about their charitable activities. The secrets pertain to their rituals, signs, and passwords, elements initially used to recognize brethren and preserve traditions. Imagine a special interest club. Its members know their internal rules and greetings, but that doesn't make the club secret. The idea of global control is pure fantasy. The Masons are ordinary people from diverse professions and social backgrounds who do not share a unified political or economic agenda. Myth 2. The Masons worship the devil or some evil deity like Baphomet. Reality. This is unequivocally false. The Masons is not a religion and does not require its members to adhere to any specific faith. However, it does require a belief in a supreme being, whom the Masons refer to as the great architect of the universe. For a Christian, this is God. For a Muslim, Allah. For a Jew, Yahweh, and so on. The Masons does not aim to replace religion, but rather to complement it with moral and ethical principles. Accusations of Satanism often arose from a misunderstanding of symbolism or from distorted interpretations by hostile critics. Baphomet, for example, is a mystical deity associated with the Knights Templar, which was mistakenly or deliberately attributed to the Masons. Myth 3. The Masons perform strange and gruesome rituals involving blood or sacrifices. Reality. Masonic rituals may indeed seem unusual to the uninitiated, but they are entirely harmless and symbolic. They involve the use of allegories and symbolic dramatizations of moral lessons, inspired by the tools and traditions of medieval builders. There are no blood rites, sacrifices, or anything that could cause harm to anyone. These rituals are designed to convey ethical principles and philosophical ideas, such as the importance of morality, virtue, justice, and brotherly love. Myth 4. The Masons possess immense wealth and use it for personal gain. Reality: Masonic lodges do collect dues from their members, but these funds are used for lodge maintenance, administrative costs, and primarily for charity. The Masons worldwide is one of the largest philanthropic organizations, supporting hospitals, schools, nursing homes, scholarships, and various humanitarian projects. Individual the Masons can, of course, be wealthy individuals, as in any other community, but this is not a consequence or goal of their membership in the fraternity. On the contrary, the Masons are encouraged to be generous and to help those in need. Myth 5. The Masons is a cult or a secret police force that helps its members evade justice. Reality: the Masons is not a cult in the destructive sense of the word. It does not isolate its members from society, nor does it demand abandonment of family or professional life. As for helping evade justice, this is strictly forbidden by Masonic principles. A Freemason's code of conduct requires adherence to the laws of the country in which they reside, and any Mason involved in criminal activity cannot expect protection or cover from the lodge. The principles of the Masons strongly condemn dishonesty and injustice. Myth 6. Women cannot be Freemasons because the Masons are misogynistic. Reality: historically, traditional or regular the Masons has indeed been, and remains, exclusively male. This is not due to misogyny, but rather to traditions and symbolism based on medieval builders' guilds, which were composed solely of men. However, alongside traditional the Masons, there are also co-Masonic or women's Masonic orders that fully admit women into their ranks and follow the same principles and rituals as male lodges. These organizations are entirely separate, but operate in the same spirit. Myth 7. The Masons created America, the French Revolution, or the New World Order. Reality: while many of the founding fathers of the USA, for example George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, were the Masons, and the Enlightenment ideas closely associated with the Masons inspired revolutionaries, this does not mean that the Masons as an organization created these events. The Masons, as proponents of liberty, equality, and fraternity, actively participated in the political life of their countries, but acted as individuals, not as a unified, centralized Masonic force. The idea of a New World Order is a classic conspiracy theory, often used to explain complex global events through the lens of an omnipotent secret society's activities. The Masons is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon. It is not an omnipotent secret government, nor is it merely a hobby club. It is an ancient brotherhood that has for centuries attracted people striving for self-improvement and service to society. By debunking myths and shedding light on their true goals, we see not shadowy puppet masters, but people united by a desire for brotherhood, morality, and knowledge. Perhaps the greatest secret of the Masons is that there is no great secret beyond self-discovery and virtue. Thank you for watching.